Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, riveting, and amazing Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, the one and only Master Propaganda. He was like defender of the fatherland of Year 2v2, still pre-hotfix. Here on Campbells Convoy in the southwest, it is Mule, and it is Warbringer fighting for the German army. Deutschland here with the 21st Panzer rolling through the hot desert sands, ordered by High Command to deal with the Allies here under Notningen and Kaadvisor within the British-American task force of the 6th Armored Division supported by the US 1st Infantry. We got a double sappers Vickers start here for Notningen, Kaadvisor with scouts, engineers and a rifle squad, Mule here straight to Mechanized with double Pioneer Grenadier start, and finally Warbringer with a double Panzer Grenadier start. So, off to the races we are here. As always, big hearty thanks to my Patreon supporters. Their generous support keeps the Propagandacast running. And a big thanks to those who keep commenting and liking on my videos. Helps out immensely with the YouTube algorithms, which otherwise seek to bury me. So, setting out here, note the southern focus here. It seems from both Axis players, whereas the Allies are going from a broader approach. And I'm just, again, sweep the entirety of the map. It does also mean they're a bit more thinly spread out and will be a bit weaker for some to a more focused push in the south. As you can see here, both German players are committing the main bulk of their infantry in the south. So that here could become a problem for Kaadvisor and his American forces, as he might struggle a bit here with just Grenadiers and Panzer Grenadiers, plus Pioneers and Panzer Pioneers all striking at him. And of course, Notningen is going to be very busy up north here. There you go, first shots, or secondary shots fired, of course, first shots further south here. Route squad charging in, under heavy fire there from German troops, 8 Panzer Grenadier squad arriving here, and that's a lot of heavy bolt action rifle fire there on the riflemen, who even with their fancy M1 Garands are absolutely outgunned by the sheer presence of the Germans. And of course here, Kaadvisor does the only thing he can, which is to withdraw his men before they become mulch. Quick buying off here, buying off this old burnt out Churchill tank. Panzer Grenadiers continue to move up. We got the Grenadiers, they're playing a bit more of a careful role here for Mule. He's got a second Grenadier squad out as well there. Looking perhaps to first move up once they get it ready. Up north, German troops slowly probing in here. Actually, the Grenadiers in northwards with the third one on the way here for Mule, and no machine guns as of yet. So very quiet here otherwise. I mean, there's the big shootout here in the south, but after that, just not a lot happening. It's worth noting, Notningen hasn't really responded to what's going on there. He's sort of just taking it easily. Another section for Notningen. More fighting up here in the north. And in the south, we all see fresh developments happening here between Warbringer and Kaadvisor. Pioneers forced off here. We've got a recce package there ready for Notningen with some scoped Lee Enfields. In the south here, Panzers, the engineers, and the riflemen. And there you go, Panzer Grenadiers still on health. Pulling them back in. Not worth noting here, fully retreating them, so he might be up to something here. Might be planning to rush out an ambulance for all we know. Meanwhile up here, sappers with recce support, they're charging in. Forcing away the Grenadiers here. Mule's northern adventures have very much been halted here by Notningen and the brave boys of the 6th Armored Division. Now the Grenadiers squad here for Mule, so he's just going hard on the Grenadiers, like full on here. And possibly have to lose another Grenadier squad he's close to, so interesting choice here. No machine guns, just a lot of Grenadiers, and crucially he's going for Mechanized. I mean, it could be he wants to transfer some up for other units, but maybe not. Also, of course, flamethrowers here. Once more, it is an excellent upgrade now after the buff. Certainly can be strongly recommended. If anything, I'm a bit surprised that Notningen so far has not bothered with it at all. Or Mule was going for the officers' quarters, so at least he's going to try and leverage all of these tier 1 units here. Thumbs up to that at least. But Allied forces so far here, despite the German hard push south, are greatly getting map control in there, as the Germans weren't really able to exploit it. In part, I think Mule just then spread himself too thin instead of, maybe following up in the wake here of Warbringer in the south here. Amps in the south. Grenadiers setting out, waiting for the officers' quarters. Up north here, bit of skirmishing. No battle group yet here for Notningen. German panzers falling back towards the ambulance. Americans, of course, seething at the idea of an ambulance and wish to destroy it with all haste. Humber armored car for Notningen. Of course, light vehicles on a map like this are going to be great. And so we'll put the German infantry under a bit of pressure. Grenadiers pushing forwards here, massive blob. Should definitely, I think, spread them out a bit. To be honest, particularly since he knows his opponent has the Vickers, but here it is pushed back. But also because he kind of needs to start grabbing some terrain here. Just having it all in one blob, it's going to make it hard to like really extend that map control. Luftwaffe company of a Mule. So no pack forces, at least not initially. Firing off there, Panzer Grenadiers withdrawing. Troops reinforcing healing, and there you go, continued northern push here. Humber though has arrived here to the scene to reinforce the Americans here under Kaadvisor, who's yet to go for battle group, to Warbringer, who has also yet to go for battle group. Riflemen charging in here, Panther Pioneer putting up fierce resistance. We've got grenades here for Kaadvisor. Giving his men, of course, a nice little close quarters boost upgrade. Recce section pushed back by the Grenadier block. We've got the Humber striking at the Pioneers. Catching them laying down wire. Nice trick, of course, there to off your opponent's cover. Of course, the Humber just kind of ruins it as well, besides the Pioneers. And we got Warbringer there calling in a light infantry gun to support his men here on the offensive and on the defense. Not a bad move at all. Part of me would have suggested maybe some assault troops or something else. Meanwhile, Kaadvisor bring in a 4th rifle squad. Not really telling us what battle group he's planning, honestly, though. Most American builds will go for full rifle squads, so it could be anything. Perhaps more advanced infantry or armored. Though, of course, they could still be able, easily. Vickers here holding up at least part of the German advance. We also see here that finally Mule has spread out a bit more with his forces. Humber up north, at least dealing with that. We go flank on the Vickers. We've got a Stillhandgranate, the M24 model. There we go, wiping the Vickers crew. That's a pretty good haul there by Mule. There we go, grabbing it, merging it so you can get it out of there, or immediately starts firing at the enemy with it without losing it immediately. Because in that sense, the merge ability is very powerful. Smoke here deployed though by Notningen there, of course, to cover the retreating men. Thumbs up, a very nice play there. In the south though, American forces causing here Warbringer a bit of grief, and we get, of course, advanced logistics and munition surplus. Heavily committing to his infantry. Not too much of a surprise there, to be honest. And Grenadiers instead being pushed back. American forces with British support steamrolling the way forwards, and further up north, Pioneers spotted by the Humber and some sappers. Oh, cancelling. Was going to go for bars first. Does make sense. Like, there wasn't really much you could do with it. So they got those bars going. And we got a Flak 30 here out for Mule. The Flieger Abwehrkanone 30. Which would see a series of upgrades. First the Flak 38 with just a single barrel. And finally, of course, the Flak Feeling. Which is just this, but 4 guns all put together, and of course a gun shield to cover it all. Pack 38 here for Warbringer. And we can see that Kaadvisor already pulling for the howitzer. Flak 30 there being used to steadily support here the men of the 7th Panzer Grenadier Company. Got the Humber strike from the northwest. Typically a Panzer Division would have had 2 Panzer Grenadier battalions and 1 Panzer Grenadier regiment. Little fun. No, actually 2 Panzer Grenadier regiments with 4 battalions total. My mistake there. And then a Panzer Grenadier Division would have 3 for a total of 6 battalions. Grenade off here, causing quite a bit of damage. Flak 30 there unleashing hell. Ripping into the sappers. Rifle squad on the southeast here being flanked. Well, he's trying to flank, but instead being met heavy machine gun fire there. Then he's an air fire. Humber, though, takes a smashing out of the Leichtes Infanteriegeschütz. And sappers there under Reginald. Out of Leeds, they're catching some Pioneers close to the German base. Germans, they're bunching up heavily in the center, which is certainly great for, like, you know, having a strong imposing position, but perhaps not so great for map control. And what is this double Flak 30 here? Out of Mule. Okay, you do not see that a lot at all. Last time I saw double Flak 30s is when I built it. Personally did not have a lot of success with it, but we'll have to see, of course, what Mule can achieve with it. Does look cool though. And there you go, officers' quarters up, so they are both veterans who won. Does provide, of course, Mule with both a lot of anti-infantry and anti-light vehicle fire, and of course, anti-aircraft fire. Over here to Mule and to Notningen, we got Panther lined up, we got the DAK, though so far Mule is not bothering with it. Company command post is being brought up by Notningen, and there you go, double flags unleashing hell there upon the rear ends of the retreating riflemen. A lot of firepower there. And certainly, Flak 30s towards the end of the war, even like midway, would have been increasingly used in a ground role to primarily just shoot at infantry rather than aircraft. There we go, good response here by the Allies, calling the till in the Flak 30s, though they are still on a heavy fire here. One reconnaissance section is definitely getting reconnoitred there, and we've got the Grenadiers flanking, we've got Engineers counter-attacking, artillery fire there, or heavy fire almost taking out one recce section. German Panzer Grenadiers supporting the flank assault here, further causing consternation here, and Kaadvisor is about to lose an Engineer squad, and down he goes. Active use of the eminency to support the advance as well, thumbs up, good coordination, though may want to get the Flak 30 there healed up, as it is low on health. And what is this? It's the howitzer. The real true reason for the assault, and there you go, Flags engaging the howitzer. Imagine having to report that. Sir, this is Sergeant Peterson. We're under attack by the Germans. Infantry and tanks, am I right? No, infantry and anti-aircraft guns. What? That can't be right. It is, sir. Medic bunker there for Mule. Further south, they are unraveling the entirety of the southern front, but of course, the Germans knew they had to push hard and coordinate here to get rid of the howitzers. They can just do it as fast as possible, with the Allies having not as much ability to respond to it effectively. Go. Flak 30s, of course, they're doing their part for das Vaterland. Back to base here. No Panzer Company, though I'm guessing that will be Mule's next priority here. He's close there in terms of fuel. But the Allies have been doing a fairly good job there at sort of slowing down the German fuel income.
Pack 38 is entering the field.
Pack 38 there, number 2 here for Warbringer. The south, the German still going in, catching that lone rifle squad here, and we got the captain about to get posthumously promoted if he's not careful against those double Flak 30s. Got the scouts there. Certainly scouting out the Flak 30s. Norfolk Grenadiers trying to cover the southern or northern victory point here, but the Allies are too many in number for it to really do much here. And things are heating up against south front here. Allied looking to flank around, perhaps the German flank. Back at the Allied base, we've got the company command post, obviously here out of the British player, but comparatively, Kaadvisor seems to have not really done much else for the time being. And we got battlefield espionage, you can hear there. That one distinct sound they make there, the Funkpanzerwagen. And Mule here is not taking up, he's going for the Flakpanzer. The Wirbelwind. In the south, the German forces rolling ahead here, attacking into Kaadvisor's lines. He's got the BRs, of course, they're ready. But against this much automatic fire, it may fall a bit short. Both Flak 30s have reached veterancy too. Oh boy. Wirbelwind almost done. That's going to be a lot of like heavy automatic fire there out of Mule with both 2 Flak 30s and then the Wirbelwind, of course, which mounted a Flak feeling there in a turret. So yeah, that's a lot of it.
Territory sector has been claimed by the
Does mean he's going to be a bit vulnerable to an armored push, but so far the Allies have not exactly been big on tanks. Notningen, there's definitely, I think, within the realm of going for a tank soon. Even if the fuel supply hasn't exactly been in their favour. But Kaadvisor, with all his, you know, tech into infantry and whatnot, has left himself a bit less capable there for at least a brief while. There was obviously banking on his infantry, turned that around at least. Savas here getting absolutely more with the Flak 30s, taking immense amounts of damage, and almost getting wiped out there, in fact. Flak Panther rolling ahead here, the Wirbelwind.
probability has
Bit
been
of a
made
late
available.
war model. Based off the Panther IV chassis, they would have a variety of flak panzers though throughout the war. In fact, the very first one was based off the Panzer I. It was the adorable little anti-aircraft tank. Later models will be using the Czechoslovakian Panzer 38T, also with a flak 38 mounted on it. Panzer 3Z out for a Warbringer, and let's pop out his perspective. Also looks like a Vespa here for Mule. And let's pop out to Kaadvisor. Going for another howitzer plus firing positions. And they're being able to heavy fire. North here, got a British assault going in. Gurkhas, sappers, and recce sections, of course, telling us that is Royal or Indian Artillery. So that's Indian Artillery, Advanced Infantry, both somewhat artillery and elite infantry focused battle groups. Versus Espionage and Mechanized. In the end, not the most surprising battle group choices there. Fairly meta. Grenadiers as the engineers, minesweepers at the ready, and obviously not really useful against the Grenadiers. But that howitzer strike definitely is. We've got a settled charge here. A lot of explosives going off on that northern fuel point here. And what is this? Panther III diving in their bold maneuver here from Warbringer, but does mean he risks losing the Panther III without taking out the howitzer. So yeah, that definitely didn't pan out. Anti-tanker though, wrecked. Could grab it, turn against the Matilda there. Grenadiers wiped. Heavy losses here for the Germans. The push from the 21st Panzer Division designs that American howitzer is encountering pretty heavy difficulties. In the south though, Warbringer is making some better progress. Yeah, the flak 30s in the middle, and there actually that's only 3. Wow. Don't see that a lot. But the 6-pounder gun has been recruited here. We got more artillery going down. German forces here hastily looking to escape. Vespa there just not going to be too helpful against the Matilda. And in fact, I'm fairly certain Mule at the moment has no real anti-tank assets. Meaning he's going to have to rely on his teammate, FX, and his Pack 38s for the time being. So that is actually a bit of a weakness here in Mule's form composition. Like, you always want to make sure you can, like, you know, after a certain point, deal with armor to some degree. And especially versus the British, you do not want them to, like, you know, get the impression they can punish you with the Matilda really, really hard, as they're currently doing. So this is definitely a bit of a larger flaw there in his force composition. Like, not only is it lacking in, like, anything at all, but it also, of course, invites an opponent to go for the Matilda 2 here. Kaadvisor going for infantry assault. Not much surprise. They have confirmed they're going to nerf that one, though only by adding 25 more munitions to it. I don't think that's going to really make it much harder to use there. I mean, it's still going to be over 1,000 manpower you get for like 2 minutes for like a bit of 100 munitions. And we got survival training for Campbells. F Company, they're catching the German assault on in the rear. Good push there by Kaadvisor's F Company push. Ambulance hanging back, and up north here we got the Matilda force, but it's taking a lot of damage. A bit more serious resistance here. North here, building supporting Grenadier assault to clear out the heights there of British forces. Marder 3 here out for Mule. So the Germans have managed to get some macro patrol in here, and we got the Stukas was ready.
5 command points available.
Airburst shells being plonked out of the sky here by Notningen in hopes of stalling the German advance to keep that fuel pod safe for at least a bit longer. Might want to pull his vehicles out of the line of 5 F Company's bazooka men. Seems like Warbringer others are taking F Company serious. Something else, but there you go. Got a mechanized assault group out here. Assault gun is ramming for Warbringer. Honestly, at this point, I would expect him to like just then going for Allied War Machine, not Allied War Machine, but the armored reinforcements. Been called in the Panther 4 here. Stuttgart's unleashing hell. Rockets delivered. Catching here. Notningen up north in a bit of a bad spot, though nothing too heavy. Oh, to Mule and to Notningen. And we got Mule here with a Kettenkrater. Which again, we do see occasionally some players later in the game going for it, partly for reconnaissance, partly just for its captability. And we got both Flak 30s at Bethany Fleet. Good God, I definitely haven't seen that before. That is kind of impressive.
We have a new ability.
Got the route score to the 250. Half track's about to go kaboom there as GIs actually obliterate the crowd. Vehicle there. Assault is close again though. Grenade assault here would prove very beneficial. But instead we get Nuss grenade assault here out of Warbringer. And the assault goes fact now the Harvest getting wiped out. Meaning this entire thing just would have ends up being a massive waste of manpower there for Warbringer. Which is great for the Allies, but certainly a bit of a dent into Warbringer. Victory points wise, the German army has managed to build up a bit of a lead here with the Allies. Panzer goes counter-attacking. They are getting counter-attacked. In the center, continued pressure here from the 21st Panzer Division. Got the Flak 30s and the Marder 3 moving ahead here. Got British forces there thinking they got the long-range advantage, which is of course going to be true until they encounter the Flak 30s. Bloody Germans, we're not aircraft! I think that's the point, Jeremy. We're easier targets. Oh, exactly, Jeremy. We can't fly. That does make us easier to shoot. Oh dear, Stuttgart's. Warbringer definitely having the war brought to him rather than bringing it, and his Stuttgart's got rather humiliatingly destroyed easily at the front line. Not ideal there for Warbringer. Flak 30s engaging F Company there. Heavy flak fire. Being unleashed into the ranks of F Company draftees up north here. Biblian Marder support against the Matilda 2 armored assault here. Marder caught in a bad spot. Their smoke is deployed, but can only hide for so long, and down it goes. Big win there for the Allies. Mule once more without any anti-tank support, finally going for the Panther Company. But his force composition kinda is betraying him here. Like, he really struggles with tanks, and the increasing pressure here being unleashed against him by the Allies. Like, he either needed more Marders, or, you know, and of course to keep them better alive, we needed, you know, more tech. In the south here, Rangers finally unleashed here by Kaadvisor, and they're absolutely wreaking havoc here on his Panzer Grenadiers. With chumps and some with bars, they push back the Panzer Grenadiers, who definitely do not have that share of automatic firepower.
Enemy forces have taken our territory.
And it's down to just poor Ludwig there, out of Baden-Baden. A plumber's apprentice. Anyways, flag feeling here is a odd choice. I feel like he out of Warbringer at this point. Flak 30s on the move again, encountering Matilda 2. And they're absolutely buttoning it up. There we got the Pack Force bringing in. Nice combo push here by the Axis forces. Catching Nottingen's Matilda there in a bit of a shower of death. And of course we get the incendiary rounds out of the Pack 38s. Of course, the German army did not have incendiary armor piercing rounds. Trust me, if they had them, they'd have used them. Also, crucially, you typically don't need incendiary munitions to light a tank on fire. Just shooting it enough tends to do the trick. Particularly if it's a Russian tank or Soviet tank, in which case you really don't need incendiary munitions to light it on fire. It's one of those very odd abilities they decide to add. It just feels like a bit like a gimmick more than anything. In south though, Flak feeling versus Scouts. Jaegers now for Mule. Went for the Panzer Company. Could of course go for the Starstorm, but they are a bit bugged, I think, at the moment. He's waiting for it to get fixed. So I guess Jaegers makes sense. I mean, he could also be he wants to go for Panzerschrecks. Who knows? But he definitely does need more infantry, as he's running aggressively short on it. So there you go. Jaegers out with G43s, also opposed to North Africa. The G41, which was the less successful predecessor to the G43, which had a lot of flaws. And so for the G43, what they did is they just captured SVT-40s in a reverse engineered their firing mechanisms and then used the SVT-40 firing mechanism on the G43. Fun fact there. Got the pack fetching the Matilda 2 there. Howitzer assault being brought up for Notningen. More high explosives ready to be locked into the general direction of the right here. And another artillery call in here. And there you go, going for the howitzer with the incendiary munitions. In this case, obviously, not using them. Soldiers moving forces straight into a F company push there. We do get a grenade assault here, a heroic attempt, but yeah, it does get a lot of them dead, expired, gone. Matilda's hiding up here by the heights. Got the American howitzer, though, of course, now there is a British howitzer they have to deal with. Back to Kaadvisor and back to Warbringer. Allied force here driving the Germans back. Flag filling down. Losing a lot of his half-tracks there, Mr. Warbringer. Losing a lot of them. Another pack 38 pushing up to a total of, well, in theory 3, but it looks like he's losing a lot of his packs here. And we got the flak crews working overtime. Unleashing hellish fusillades upon the Allied infantry. Matilda getting buttoned up again. The crew probably not having a great time with that. And further south we see here Kaadvisor doing an excellent job harassing there, outflanking the Germans. Thumbs up. We got tank depots for Kaadvisor and the United States Army finally. But the crucial part is Mule continues to lack any significant anti-tank assets. He's going for the Panther, and he's also got Panther 6 on the way for his Jaegers, so that will of course represent a bit of a boost there in the blowing up tanks department, which he has been crucially lacking. So there you go, the Ketten Panzerbüchse, ready for the Jaegers. Panther is right around the corner south though. Allied forces falling upon a cache here, German one. We got the flak feeling there, pushing back some American forces. Looks like an entire US unit there got decimated in a hailstorm of automatic fire out of the MD-34s and the flak feeling of the real event. So we've got 214 minus 262 Allied working hard, forces there working hard to close the gap, gaining the edge over the Reich. We got 30 cows on the way there. A fighting position, and up north here Matilda's continue to be sort of very dug in, and we got the Panther, the Model D, the earliest model of the Panther. See service, which had, shall we say, quite a few flaws to it. For example, the actual Panther Model D did not actually have a generator for the turret, so it's actually hand cranked, meaning they had a really slow turret rotation. The actual in-game, of course, they don't. They also, as a fun fact, all Panthers at this particular force, they didn't actually have a lot of reverse gears, so they were painfully slow to reverse, and the result would be actually a lot of tank crews would just drive forwards and then just turn around that way, exposing the rear to the enemy instead, because again, just so painfully slow to reverse. Which is actually something I think see today in Ukraine with the Russian tanks, who also lack reverse gears, and in many cases you also see Russian tank crews doing the same thing. Workers there with Bren guns pushing back the German forces. Up north, Panthers charging in support by the infantry here, dashing out for Deutsch and exposing the sun with 6-pounder gun, going for the Matilda. High velocity 7-pounder shot there going through the Matilda. Then exposes more side armor to the anti-tank gun. Ah, that was definitely not advisable here by Mule. Not advisable at all. That was not ideal Panther play. And of course also historically inaccurate, because again that should be a lot slower, but again, a bit like the slow turret rotation. I don't think most players would appreciate the Panther, you know, being as slow as molasses withdrawing and also having a really slow turret rotation. Anyways, Matilda's going through here. artillery fire there, just keep the German hands off it. We got more artillery there on the way here for Mule. It is another Vesper. The Germans are definitely like heavily ensconced in the center, but they are conceding a lot of ground elsewhere. And of course we got F Company there out of Kaadvisor again.
Territory sector has been claimed by the enemy.
Soldiers about to get wiped up, F Company, and down they go. He went for another flak feeling though. Not entirely sure that was a great idea there by Warbringer. I suppose again he's doing it because of F Company. Hellcat charging in there. We finally got some armor on the way there for Kaadvisor. A tank destroyer in this case. O to Notningen, 110 to Mule. We got Grants here being finally brought up by Notningen. Emblem. Something exploded at least, looks like. Anti-tank groups, they're going down. Kenkrat somehow holding out there despite everything. Artillery fire, Matildas. German lines are crumbling, eroding. There's massive amount of artillery here. The Germans are counter-attacking here towards the north. A lone Panther crew being sent into the meat grinder. With limited to no support here. One flak was actually expired. We got the Vesper joining in. Pioneers rushing forwards. A lack of support here is making it harder here for Mule though to form up a cohesive defense line or even offensive line. And there you go. Flak 30 destroyed. What is this? Ah, it's the fighting position. There we got the people in there knocked out in the south. So the Germans hold the center, but that's really all they're holding. Meanwhile, we finally got the M3 Grant here out for Notningen, which is a specific version of the M3 Lee with some changes to the overall setup there. The obvious one is the turret. It was a bit larger turret, so it could actually fit a radio in it. Which also meant that they actually didn't need as much crew. The American version had 7 men in it. The British version only needed 6 because of that. So we can find their flak film withdrawing here. F Company again just being thrown to the wolves here. HMG nest being dug in by Notningen in the north, I imagine, to keep that victory point safe. We got almost all victory points used with the American artillery fire, further supporting F Company's push. We got Rangers here, also tagging in. And further south, Kaadvisor is further breaking apart there, the German front line. It's a real mess there for the Reich. And we got British armor here out of Notningen. He's calling in more grants. Looks like he withdrew one of his Matildas to just get more grants, which honestly does make sense. German assault in the south here is not having the best of times, if anything. And Allied artillery continues to just slam into the German position, making a defensive Mule very difficult. Almost got the second flak 30 here, and down it goes. It's an utter collapse here for the Germans now. They basically hit that moment of just things are collapsing so fast, and they just don't have the units like form up a cohesive defense or counterattack. Like Mule's fleeing manpower, but he's not really sure it seems what to do with it. Not calling in Starsum or other troops. You got all three victory points now being held by the Allied forces. Germans down to about 100 points. Jaegers with Panther support are pushing in here for the center victory point. It's a desperate assault here by Mule. And Warbringer. Not the best for the running. Light Infantry active running some support, not the Vesper. Well, the Vesper is still alive. It is a bit busy elsewhere. And of course, more F Company. And there you go, Hellcat knocks out the Panther. Jaegers don't get the Hellcat, but they could theoretically get knocked out themselves. 57 is 214. More death, more destruction.
Our final 50 point, hang by a thread.
Situation here for the Germans is actually falling apart. F Company, though, is also falling apart in a more explosive manner. Panthers are being hammered by the Grants. F Company is gone. 214 versus 29. And there you go. Hellcat exploiting gaps in German lines, going for the west for there. Thumbs up to Kaadvisor. There we go. GG, game over. A loss for the Germans, victory for the Allies. A brutal fight there. Definitely some issues, I think, in the German force composition. Maybe they're just waiting for the hotfix, or they're just, you know, dilly-dallying about. But certainly there could have been some better anti-tank assets chosen, at least something a bit more consistently picked, like just more Martyrs. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. This is Imperial Cheers, and see you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye, everyone.